let's talk about the laws in Singapore. I found some insane laws. So let's start easy. So I found littering is illegal, right?
Littering is illegal, yes, definitely. I don't know about the. I seen the signs where they're like the fines go up to like $1,000 for littering.
Really? For
Yeah.
anything, or does it depend on what it is?
I think cigarette butts hold a different fine, but I think littering can go up pretty high.
Okay.
Most of the so Singapore has so many laws that they fine you for that we're literally called the fine city. So fine. There's laws for like very ridiculous things as well. Most of the time, like what I call these tiny laws, the fines maybe go to like 1,500, 300, and yeah, those laws. So I know there are laws like you can't bring the fruit durian onto the train. You get fined for bringing durian on the train because durian has a very, for some people, has a very pungent smell.
Okay.
So if you bring it on the train, it's gonna stink up the whole cabin, and then you get fined for that. And they actually put the signs on the entrances of the train for you to know no eating and drinking on the train. They fine you for that too. I mean, what else you got for fines?
I found, for example, not flushing a public toilet can get you a fine as well.
Yeah, they have that. I don't know how they catch you. I haven't heard of anyone who got caught for not flushing the toilet because, like, how do they catch you for that?
Yeah, I mean, I guess it just has to happen more or less by accident.
Yeah. I think someone has to complain about you. Like, someone has to snitch on you. Like, can you imagine, like, someone like, you didn't flush the toilet, you get caught, and they call, and then you get fined. But, like, it's hard to prove. How are you going to prove that? So, a lot of these fines are more deterrents. The fact that people know they're there makes people not do it.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, so there's fine for like not flushing toilets. I think there's a fine for, you said there was a fine with spitting.
Yeah,
spitting is one too.
Up to $1,000, I found.
Yeah, spitting is another issue. What else do we have?
I found actually a ton of stuff. So, for example, flying kites or playing any game that could get into the way of traffic can get a fine up to $5,000.
I don't know about the amount, but it sounds right. Yeah.
Yeah.
We have very designated places you can fly kites.
Yeah.
Yeah, and drones as well. But drones are like drones are more normal because like they're like electric. Like you might actually interfere with some systems, but yeah.
I mean, I guess it makes sense at least to some degree. Like you shouldn't, I don't know, throw a soccer ball at cars. You know, I mean, it makes sense.
Oh yeah, then there's one where like you sometimes so Singapore lives in mostly high-rise buildings, which we call HDB blocks.
Okay.
And there's a void deck, which is like a common area below. I've seen signs where you can't play soccer in those places. You get fined for that. You can't skate there. You get fined for that. Never actually met anyone who got fined for it. I feel like if you get caught, they might let you they'll just let, if you're a kid, they'll just let you off for one. They're not gonna go first, but it's really more like deterrence. Yeah. Oh Jesus, we have fines for everything now.
Yeah, I also found that, and I saw that you can get a fine for feeding pigeons.
Yeah, at certain places, yeah, because they don't want you to at hawker centers. I think.
Yeah.
They don't want you to attract the birds.
Yeah, of course, because they come back to where they got.
Yeah,
food.
They get fined. So yeah, now that you mention, like you know when you go to Europe, they're like, oh, feed the pigeons, and then you can hold their heads, and no one does that in Singapore. It's like, yeah, it's you can get fined.
And then that one blew my mind. You can if you use another person's Wi-Fi, that can get a fine. You can even go to jail. Because it counts as hacking.
I don't know if it's because it counts as hacking, but I heard of it because like the homes in Singapore are so close, the country is so small that the Wi-Fi you can usually like connect into your if they don't have a security. But I've seen people who like squat at the void decks and they use the Wi-Fi of the house building. Yeah. And they're just using it. I don't think it's legal, but like I said, no one really gets caught unless you do something with that.
Yeah, I guess that really has to do something with like
I mean, but most but most Wi-Fi's have a security anyway, so I never heard of people who got caught with that.
And then I found like gum is very illegal, especially if you deal with gum.
Yes. I wouldn't say very illegal. I think I read this one because I think it's $2,000. The fine can go up to $2,000, so like maybe a few months of jail.
That's just fucking crazy. Why? I mean, was it like used to be like, I don't know, some criminal?
No. It's not. It will blow your mind. It's just our founding prime minister, our prime minister back then, Lee Kuan Yew. I think at that time, some a person like the cabinet or like the ruling party was saying the gums, they dirty the floors. Like people stick them under
the
table, chairs. When you drop them on the floor, they leave like those black marks that you see on the streets. They didn't like that. It was more of like keeping the house clean.
Okay.
So they banned selling chewing gums.
Yeah.
So here's the thing. I think most foreigners, like when they walk in with a pack of chewing gums, like, oh shit, I'm gonna go to jail. That's not true. You can consume like a pack of, like if you bring it in Singapore for your own consumption, it's fine. Usually I haven't heard of anyone who got into trouble for just one pack for their own consumption. They're okay. They just don't want you bringing in a bulk and then selling it or distributing it. That's illegal.
Okay.
Yeah, so like if you bring in like 1 or 2 packs for your friends, it's fine. Which is why like when you're younger and you go overseas for vacation and you come back with gum and you like give your friends, you're the like the cool kid, you're like the dealer, like whoa, you're like what's the guy from Breaking Bad? You're like what's his name?
Walter White.
Yeah, you're like Walter White. You're like yeah, gum. And then you get the really good tasting ones from Malaysia, like oh yeah, then you're the best friend. Yeah. Okay. So you can't eat gum in Singapore, you just can't sell it.
Okay. And then I found that walking around your own house naked can get you a fine in your own 4 walls.
Yes, I think it's true because, like I said, the houses are very close to each other.
Yeah.
I can literally, my friend stays like back home. My friend stays on the neighboring block, and I can just like that is considered hi like that. So you can, and like it's so hot in Singapore. Most people leave their windows open. No one closes it like the curtains. So if you walk around like naked, like the entire estate's gonna know. They can see. So like even back home, my parents will be like, make sure you close the curtains when you change. And stuff like that. So I think it's more of like modesty. Yeah, like not an outrage of modesty, like for yourself and for whoever is probably like unfortunate enough to see you. So yeah, I guess it's more like I said, never heard of anyone who got caught for that. But I'm sure
Okay.
Yeah.
And then another crazy thing that's some public elevators are equipped with urine detection devices that set off an alarm and close the doors when urine is detected until the police arrive.
Okay.
Is that like a problem? People pissing in elevators?
People pissing in elevators is a big problem in Singapore. I don't understand. Just use a public toilet or something. Okay, maybe there's no public toilet, but like, why do you piss in the elevators? It stinks up the thing for everybody. I don't know about those high-tech elevators. Sounds expensive. I've never really seen one. At least I haven't tested it, so I wouldn't know. But they do have cameras. And they don't put like one camera. They put like 2 at diagonal to make sure they got all angles of you if you do the act. Yeah, I don't know why people piss in elevators. Like, why would you want to take that risk? Like, anytime the door can open. Another problem is people letting their pets piss in the elevators. It's such a small place.
Really?
It's enclosed. It's gross.
That's disgusting.
Yeah, it's disgusting. There are fines for that if you don't pick up after your dog. You can't walk your dog off a leash in Singapore. All these things are just about general safety and hygiene. But yeah, people get caught for that. The pissing in elevators, that's definitely true.
And then drugs are also very illegal, right? And is death penalty still a thing?
Yeah, we get the touchy topic. Yes, Singapore still deals out. You get the death penalty for trafficking drugs. Different drugs vary. The amount varies for different drugs. I think for cocaine or was it heroin, it's only 50 grams. So if you traffic them, it's straight away a death penalty. They put you through the trial system, and stuff like that. But it's a death penalty that's being called. It's crazy. So I think recently there was the case of a guy who was he Malaysian? He trafficked drugs. I'm not sure what, but the case that was brought up was that he was mentally disabled, I think, or like rather there was some mental issue. So that was a case that was put forth to the court, and then it brought up a big controversy because people like maybe he didn't know what he was doing and stuff like that, or maybe like someone sneaked it on him and stuff. So there was like petitions and outreach, and like most people, the people who were like petitioning for his innocence or something like that, or like for lighter sentences, were saying that it's because he didn't know what he was doing. But then the court ruled that he knew what he was doing. They found like they went through a very, very tedious process of making sure they investigated everything, and then they ruled that he was trafficking drugs. So I think recently he was put to death, and they do it by hanging.
By hanging?
Yeah, by hanging.
Really?
Yeah.
That's such a medieval way.
Yeah. They do it by hanging, and I think recently there was just another case, like just recently, a few days ago, if I'm not wrong, I read about it, and then so the main issue I think was the international outcry, like the UN felt like it was really inhumane and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But surprisingly, for me it's unsurprisingly because I'm Singaporean, but most of Singaporeans are quite supportive of the death penalty because I think we as a nation have seen what happens to other countries when drugs are introduced and like they go rampant. Like it really, really destroys nations. And so our government is very, very strong and very adamant on keeping it that way. And I think most of Singaporean is supportive because like I see it as results, I guess. Like I see like I only have maybe 8 cases per year and like another country might be like running rampant with drugs. But to me I see it as that's results. Yeah. So I think Singaporeans are very logical in their aspects. But it doesn't I guess it doesn't agree with what the international consensus is that it's inhumane. But I think apart from drugs there are like a total of 33 offenses that warrant the death penalty. Okay. Yeah, you have like I think treason, terrorism, kidnap with intent to murder, a few others as well. So it's not just drugs. Okay. Yeah, so that's the thing with it.
And in terms of drugs, like a death penalty, can you get it for every drug, or like let's say weed, for example?
Yeah, I think if you get caught with trafficking weed, I think it's a death penalty as well. Like actually there was a recent case with the weed issue. Like Singapore has a very, very tough stance on drugs. So not recently, maybe like the last year, we have an Olympic gold winner. He's the only Olympic gold winner. His name is Joseph Schooling. So when he won Olympic gold, the entire country was like celebrating, like he was like, whoo, the model. And then I think when he was in America training, he was going through some tough times or something. So he just smoked weed. And when he came back, I'm not sure what it was doing when he came. Yeah, I think when he came back, he failed the drug test. The whole country went ham. Like
really? Like they were disappointed in their example.
They were not just disappointed. I think the especially on Facebook, Jesus, like Singaporeans on Facebook are really mean and really hateful. Like the comments that were being made about him was so bad. And like I think the younger generation in general were more empathetic. Like we can understand why he did that. But he just went from national hero to like thrown on the bus. Yeah. And I think it was really sad because during that time it was when he lost his dad. So he wasn't doing well in his swim meets. Like right after winning the Olympics, he didn't perform well in the Southeast Asian Games. Straight away, people threw him under the bus. Like it was really, really mean, the comments on Facebook. So one can understand why he consumed weed, but it was just consumption. I guess in countries like America and all that, weed consumption is just like
it's nothing.
It's nothing. Like, it's just part of.
Especially in some states now, it's getting more and more legal.
Yeah. But in Singapore, they threw him under the bus. So I think now him and a few other national swimmers. So I think now things have definitely died down, which is great for him, I guess. But that is how that's the mindset people have towards drugs in Singapore. It's really serious. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, that's crazy. Yeah. Because for example, for us in Switzerland, it's a lot. I mean, it's still illegal at this point, but they actually started a project to make it legal. So they started basically a study with, I think it was like 400 people, where over 1 or 2 years or something, they actually have access to legal recreational weed, and then they can use it, and then they're studied to see like the effects and stuff. And if this turns out well, it will be legalized. So I think in most European countries, it's going to come sooner or later. Yeah. Because the thing that just amazes me if you compare it to alcohol, like so many deaths have come from alcohol. But I mean, the worst thing that happens when you smoke weed is you get hungry and chatty. You talk a bit, you have a snack, and that's it.
Yeah. I think my theory is that the reason why the government doesn't even allow like normal weed is because once you start allowing 1 drug, 2 drugs, then people will be like, what about this drug? Then where do you draw the line? Like, people will be like, oh, maybe this drug will be the same as weed. So I think they don't even want to start. Yeah. So don't even let it start. It doesn't start, and then you don't have to worry about it not stopping. Yeah. Yeah. So like I think that's the general idea behind it. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. That's basically it.